So what happens when your partner's vision starts to change? It's really easy to just focus on the doctors and the diagnosis. But today, we're going to talk about something that's just as critical, how you actually protect your relationship through all of it. And look, we're not getting into the medical stuff. Think of this as a real-world playbook for how you and your partner can stay close when love has to deal with a whole lot of new logistics.
Because that's the real monster in the room, isn't it? The uncertainty. It's all those quiet little shifts in your roles. It's that constant guessing game of, should I help right now, or is that going to sound like I think they can't do it? It's that feeling of walking on eggshells that can create so much distance. So yeah, that's what we're going to tackle, head on.
Okay, and this really gets to the heart of it. The real struggle here isn't just about the physical eyesight. It's about how you, as a couple, navigate the loss of control that comes with it. The goal isn't for one person to become a perfect coper. No way. The goal is for both of you to create a new sense of shared control. The point is, you can be terrified and still be a team. And it's so easy to fall into this trap, right? It feels polite, almost kind, to just not bring it up, to not make it a thing. But that silence, it comes with a huge cost. It creates this space between you, where loneliness and resentment just start to grow. And that fear you're both feeling, it starts to leak out sideways, as a sharp comment about a misplaced item or just cold silence at dinner. So you gotta talk about it. You have to name what's happening. But how in the world do you do that without making the other person feel attacked or defensive? Okay, let's walk through a super simple, low-drama way to get that first conversation started.
Okay, check out how this works. It's brilliant. Step 1, just a neutral observation. I've noticed reading the menu is getting harder. No blame, no drama, just a fact. Step 2, you make it a shared problem by saying for us. It's making ordering food feel more stressful for us. And then, step 3, a small, totally doable invitation, not some huge demand. It's just a genius way to open a door to a conversation, not a fight.
All right, so once you've had that first conversation, what's next? Well, it's all about redesigning your teamwork. And this is so important if you don't want your relationship to turn into this full-time caregiving gig where you stop being partners and just become a logistics manager and a patient.
Let me tell you a story that just hits this nail on the head. So there's a couple in the grocery store. She can't read the tiny print on the boxes anymore. And he, trying to be helpful, just starts grabbing boxes off the shelf trying to make things go faster. And she just snaps. Stop. You know that moment where everyone else in the aisle suddenly gets very interested in their own shopping cart? But here's the thing. That fight, it had nothing to do with cereal. It was about him trying to manage his own anxiety by taking over. And in doing so, he was erasing her ability to choose for herself. It was about consent. And then, in the car on the way home, she says the thing that changes everything for them. She says, "Give me choices. Don't decide for me." That simple phrase became their code. It wasn't about whether he helped or not. It was about how he helped.
And that really is the huge difference, isn't it? Help that smothers, it just takes over, assumes it knows best. But help that supports, it offers a menu of choices. It sounds like, hey, do you want me to read the ingredients out loud? Or do you want to use the magnifier app on your phone? It's such a small shift in language, but it's a massive shift in power and respect.
Okay, so how do you put this into practice? Well, one really great tool is to think of all the work in lanes. You've got health, home, money, mobility, and social stuff. For each lane, you decide who is the owner, the person responsible for it, and who is the backup. This way, one person doesn't accidentally become the default manager of, well, everything. But here's a question that trips up so many people, especially the person who's trying to help. Is it okay to just take over because it's faster? I mean, it's so tempting, isn't it, to just jump in and do it yourself because it saves 5 minutes.
Yeah, but here's the thing we have to remember. That thing you do in 2 minutes because it's faster, it can create 2 times days of resentment and distance. In a relationship, efficiency is not always the most important thing. Connection is.
So a huge part of this is just reducing that daily friction. And one of the best ways to do that is to shift your focus to your home, to your environment. Small, practical upgrades can make a world of difference in lowering the daily stress level for both of you.
And what's so great is that these aren't some huge, expensive projects. We're talking quick wins, better lighting right over the kitchen counters, a dark doormat where you always put your light-colored keys, a light-colored cutting board for chopping dark veggies, or just having one official spot, a basket, a hook for keys and the wallet. These little things can almost eliminate that frantic, "where's my" dance that so often turns into a blame game.
Okay, but we also have to be real. There comes a point where love and teamwork alone can't do the work of an entire support system. Bringing in outside help, what we're calling a third team, is not a sign of failure. It's actually a proactive strategy to protect what's most important, your connection, from total burnout.
So, how do you know if it's time for that? Well, let's run through a quick checklist together. Are you arguing about the same exact thing every week? Is the question of who's driving dictating your entire social life? Have there been any close calls with falls or meds? Think about it. If you're nodding yes to 2 or more of these, that's a really strong sign that it's time to start looking for some outside help, maybe this month.
Whew, okay, that was a lot, I know. So what's the one thing you can do, like in the next 15 minutes, that will actually move the needle? It all comes down to this: taking this big, foggy, scary problem and turning it into a clear, shared map that you can both look at together.
And here's how you build that map. It's super simple. You open up a shared note on your phones, list the top 5 things that are just the most difficult right now, write down those help preferences, like please ask before helping me, jot down questions for your next doctor's visit, and step 5, and please don't skip this one, it might be the most important, you schedule 1 time a week that is a total no logistics zone. No talking about meds or driving or chores, just time to be you.
Because look, at the end of the day, you can't control every single part of a health journey. Nobody can. But what you can control, 100%, is whether you face it as a team or as 2 separate, stressed-out individuals. Creating a shared map, even a really simple one, turns that scary uncertainty into teamwork. And that shared map is how you stay close no matter what comes next.